Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, March 24th, 2024. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're well. I hope everyone on the East Coast got through the storms okay last night with all the flooding and the snow and the rain and the wind. Much better today, much better. If you are new to my podcast, welcome. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com for all about my work, all about upcoming events. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. And also you can listen to this through my business page under Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. And I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. I think I hit all the bases right now. And if you are coming back every week, thank you. I am, again, want to say really sorry for accidentally not realizing that I wasn't sharing the podcast on Facebook. For a couple weeks, I told the system to do it, but there's a glitch. So I am on top of that now, and hopefully it won't happen again, because I appreciate so much that there are listeners that wait for the podcast to load. That just makes my life. Thank you so much. I'm so very grateful. I really am. I'm so humbled too. I can't even express what it feels like that people want to wait for the podcast to look forward to it. I have one that I listen to. It's a channel called Be Grateful. It's very much an AI channel. I think the voice isn't even an actual person, just a computer-generated voice. But I as well, like in the morning, they load them pretty much every day. I'll go, okay, is it loaded yet? It says great videos a lot of the time about the law of attraction, the law of assumption, which is the same thing. Just keys, tips to life. And so, they have over 100,000 subscribers. When I started listening, there was 69,000. Now there's well over 100,000. But it's called Be Grateful. They also have a channel called Be Awakened, which has spiritual teachings on it from masters such as Neville Goddard, Joe Vitale, Bob Proctor, Louise Hay, all kinds of people. Sometimes they put on, and I kind of noted this last week, sometimes they'll put on videos about where to put salt in your house. I kind of skip those. I'm not being judgmental. It's just not much of an interest to me. But, their dialogue is that things work for them, and so they pass it on. So that's a very good teacher, because that's how I work. If it works for me, I'm going to share it with you. And so perhaps putting sugar and salt around does have a manifestational key to it. As you know, most of you who have listened before know the power of emotions. If you feel it as already happened, it's going to happen. If you're thinking like it's already happened, also, it's going to happen. And so, for instance, we have the big lotteries going on right now. Excuse me, I bumped my hand. We have the big lotteries going on right now. And if anyone plays, and again, not saying that you should, note to that. But if you do, in order to win, you have to feel as if you've already won. Like, what's that look like? And if you want to call it delusional, as long as it's not an unhealthy kind of delusional, you don't want to act so much like you're wealthy that you're spending money you don't have. But if you feel that you are, if you have the feeling, if you have the thought, if you're not saying words that go against that feeling, well, it's just a matter of time in some way. It may not be the full jackpot, but you'll see. Or you might see it come in another way, because the lottery is just one channel to abundance. It is not the channel to abundance, which is how many people also block themselves from winning. Because if you can if you try to manifest a lottery win and you can detach enough, you feel it, but you're not looking for it, you're not worrying about it, you're not, having it be your only source, like your savior. You don't want it to be your savior. If you can do that, you might get 100,000, you might get 1,000,000. You don't necessarily get it all, but it's also the money that comes into you, by the way, is what you're aligned with. And I often tell this to my clients: your departed loved ones can magically send you money, but they cannot send you money that you're not aligned with. So yes, of course they would love for you to be a billionaire, and all the financial freedom that may come with that. But if they know that you cannot handle being a billionaire, that it will ruin your life, for instance, some people are aligned in the moment and then it does kind of turn on them. But if they know overall that you're not ready to receive, they can't send it to you. You have to be vibrationally and energetically aligned with that abundance, just as you have to be energetically and vibrationally aligned with love, with health. You have to align with it. I'm going to stop now and tell you, I hope that you're not hearing the dog bark outside. I want to stress that I am not against dogs. They like me. Animals know good people. They know that I'm good people. But as I've been talking to you, this dog is right there on the side of my backyard and is going off. It is probably barking at a squirrel. But hopefully you don't hear it, because I do have a good microphone. And if you do, blessings to the dog and apologies. So, what is today's topic today? As I digressed there a bit and rambled on, but I rambled on with a purpose, right? You're supposed to hear all that. The topic today is: you can change your past. You can change your past. And when you think, how can we change our past when it's in our past? Stay tuned. I'm about to tell you. So, when I talk to you about vibration, when I talk to you about energy, when I talk to you about manifestation, we not only in this present moment are creating our future, being deliberate creators, whether we mean to be deliberate creators or not, we also can go back and revise our past. It's called revision, as Neville Goddard puts it. And through that revision, it gives us the opportunity to heal, which unblocks what would block us from our future in the way of wealth, love, and health. Now, as a rapid transformational therapist who uses hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming and cognitive therapy, I guide my clients back to the past, to revise their past, to unblock, to reframe, to cause healing. And most of the time, it's the inner child. And then they feel release. They feel lighter. They feel they can give up their habit. They feel that they can earn more money, often, depending on what root cause they're working on. And sometimes, even if they're not working on a particular root cause, let's say they come in for smoking cessation, sometimes they can get an extra bonus of wealth or better relationships too, along with the habit being helped, assisted in being released. So I do this all the time, and you can do this for yourself as well. So how do you do it in your everyday life without the help of a hypnotherapist? It's really work. It's And what I mean by it's work is that it's you being cognizant of where your emotions are, where your thoughts are. Let's say, I'm going to use an example now. And I'm coming up with a really good one. Let's say that you were hurt by somebody. You were hurt by a person in the past. Maybe it was an old boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe it was a boss. Maybe it was, someone significant like that in your life. And you're having an issue with moving forward from it. You're having a difficulty opening yourself up to a new relationship or to believing in yourself or confidence in yourself. And the moment of the hurt, maybe it was more than one moment. Maybe it was an injustice. Maybe people believed something about you that wasn't correct. I've actually had that happen before when I was very young. It was, oh my gosh, it was actually 30 years ago. I just realized that. My goodness. You ever realized how time has flown? And at the time, I was in an office, and there were people that loved to gossip about people. That's what they did for fun in this office. It was not the healthiest office overall. And I may have told someone of this story before in some way as an example, but I'm using it again. So what happened is that for whatever reason, there were people that believed that I was gossiping, and they wanted to teach me a lesson, these great gossipers. And by the way, I was not gossiping. I was not. They thought, oh, when she's out talking to a coworker on the balcony, she probably is talking about all of us or something. So they decided to play a very hurtful trick on me, these people. And it was quite sad that they were like that. And I just feel compassion for them nowadays. But, at the time, I didn't understand. It came out, by the way. You know why it came out? It came out, they were playing a trick on me where they told me a lie. And it was a truth. And so I believed it. But then one of them needed a ride from me from an event. So they were like, we can't tell her yet about it. We can't let her know because I need that ride. But it ended up coming out. So it's just sad, right? So for many years, I carried that. Like, why? I don't understand. Why were they so unkind to me? And it was a moment that I went with the aha of, oh, wait, when they saw me talking, they assumed, but I was just talking about my life. I was just talking about my personal life at home. I wasn't talking about any of them. And I wasn't even talking about work. It was, and by the way, there was no reason for me to be on the balcony except to have a work break, with an older employee, coworker. And so they misunderstood, and instead of finding out, they assumed and thought, we're going to get her. And I remember when they told me, we've been lying to you, we've been laughing behind your back, we've been doing all this. I said, why? They went, because you had it coming. These, if they're on this, well, if they're not on this earth today, they know better. But I just hope life got better for them. I just want to say that. So, when I came to the understanding that they just didn't understand and that they, were reacting from this place, their story, and deciding to be like that and to have compassion towards them because of how they were, and then I also realized, interestingly enough, and I know I've said this before, as I said, I've shared this story before, that the big liars in this were all older single women. And I was a young married mother. And so I realized, it's like, wow, I wonder if there wasn't just, that's why they were so sad. That's why they were so unkind. There were bigger emotions going on that had nothing to do with me. And they were probably lonely. That I think they were. And so it was where they were coming from that they wanted to attack me. And I don't use that word attack lightly, but I only mean in a unkind, emotional, bordering on evil kind of way. And they involved other people who didn't feel comfortable because they had to make up a story, and the people who were the players in the story didn't want to be a part of the story. So they asked, it's like, can the truth come out? Because I don't like this. This isn't fun. This isn't kind. And so it kind of was falling apart on them. And so what could I do today about this if I were involved in this office? If I'd gotten this aha, whenever I'd gotten this aha, what can I do about this? Because as I said, it's like, it's really hurt. I didn't understand. You ever been hurt and you don't understand why things happen? Like, and the confusion makes you more hurt. And you're also some embarrassment. You believed a lie about a circumstance, and so you feel like a fool, and people are laughing at you behind your back. So it is, it was very difficult. But what can we do to heal that? And you can do this with a situation like that where you have been harmed in some way. You can also do it about a relationship where you're having a fight with someone and you want to heal the fight. What I can do is I can go back and I can revise the scene. I can have them talking in a way of understanding that when I'm out and about talking with my coworkers, I'm not talking about anyone. I'm not gossiping. I'm not who they accused me of being. And hear their conversations. Yes, making up their conversations. We can trust Lisa. Lisa's kind. Or saying it directly to me. Or just saying, what are you guys talking about out there? Oh, just the home. And the everyday schedule. No. And having it be a time, a scope of understanding, of bringing out the best in people, of having them talk the best to me. So what does that do? Well, what it does is it changes the energy. It changes the energy not only with me, but it changes the energy regarding those people, no matter where they are in the world. Doesn't matter. We're all one. They feel it. And it heals it. It makes it lighter. It makes it better. It makes it healthier. And then the next opportunity comes. I'm currently self-employed and forever self-employed. But healing that means that now an opportunity or a testimonial or something very positive will come my way because I've opened up to the law of abundance, the law of assumption, the law of everything is working out for me. Everything is healed. Everything is flowing. Everything is good. You see? And even if you think in your head, well, this wasn't real, this didn't happen, within your own mind, if it's real, what you're revising, if you feel it as real, it becomes real. It has the energy to it. It has the energy of the cure. So let's say you are in a situation with a spouse and you guys have had a moment. You can go back and revise that moment. And what it does is that your spouse will respond to it. You'll see them have a different energy, and most likely a lighter energy. Suddenly they want to, maybe they even apologize, to you out of nowhere. That is the healing that can take place when you revise the past. Employer can work with that, even if it's one like me, where it's possible that some of these people are no longer on earth. It doesn't matter. The healing takes place. The door, the windows are opened. So let's say it has to do, and it can, by the way, it can affect you in the way of health. It can affect you in every way wonderfully, because you have healed something. You have brought a higher energy to it. And whenever you bring higher consciousness to a situation, you get higher consciousness. Did something unjustly happen to you? Did you get passed up for a job in the past? See yourself getting the job, passing the test. Whatever feels the best to you. Or maybe if you didn't get the job, they're telling you that you're just overqualified and the right opportunity will come and they think you're the best. And whatever is the revised feel good emotion is the way to go. It's the way to go. Try that very much. And also when it comes, again, it can apply to wealth as well. Was there a time in the past where you struggled and you had a hard time paying something, or you hit more of a rock bottom? Revise it. Revise it till you haven't. That didn't happen. That it all worked out. And today it probably worked out for the better overall in some way. But revise it. Revise anything that does not feel good to you. And it pops up on us, by the way. There's triggers that we get in our lives, or maybe when we're watching television, or talking to someone, or reading something, or seeing something on social media. It can bring up an old feeling. If it's health, right now, the Princess of Wales in England is going through a health matter treatment. That can bring up for anyone a remembrance of what they went through. Go back and heal it. Go back and feel that wellness. Feel that perfection of your cells, your organs, your body, your skin. It's all cured. It's all good. It's all healthy. It's a discipline, and it should be done really every day and maybe multiple times a day. If you do that, you're soaring. And when you soar through this life, you'll see that you are in the abundant flow, and you are in a place of having the best relationships, and you are in a place of having the best health. Now, sometimes health will still come to us as a kick in the butt to move us forward, because for whatever we're trying to align with, we need qualities to be able to be ready. And sometimes the answer to that is health, and sometimes the answer to that is a breakup. Sometimes the answer to that is a job loss. There's different ways the universe sends us a kick in the butt. But if your health is about the need for inner healing, the need for inner love, then this will help you. This will do the trick. This will give you the empowerment to really, really, really be at the steering wheel of your life. So try it out. Try it out. Was there something in your past that you'd like to reframe, to revise? whether it's small, medium, or large. And by the way, it's a private matter. Do it on your own. Do it within yourself. Visualize, feel. If you're not one that can visualize, just hear it. Just feel it. It's the same power. It doesn't matter if you can visualize. It doesn't matter if you can go back to the moment. I think in our lives, all of us have had moments where we perhaps felt not good enough in some way, misunderstood, mistreated, unrequited, right? That's a good one, isn't it? The unrequited one. How, that, if you're one that's a feeler, go back. Now, remember, this is inner work. This is inner work. This doesn't mean that, here's what will happen. This doesn't mean after you do the reframing, you touch base with people. They may touch base with you. They may. Or they may not. But either way, the change has happened. The healing has taken place. Life has changed. So do the inner work, but notice the outer environment change. Don't then, I feel like I don't need to say this at the same time I want to say this. Don't walk around calling people from your past, acting as if something has changed. They may question you of how healthy you are. But know if those people can somehow come back into your life and want to come back into your life with their will, you may very well just hear from them. You may run into them in a store. I ran into, by the way, one of the people that did their trick in a store after I'd left the place of employment. And it was years later, but it wasn't decades later. And she would not even look at me. I tried to look at her, tried to engage. She would not. She still knew what she had done. Always send compassion and understanding to people who are in such a place that they have to put out their hurt to others, that they have to use their lower energies, that they have to be a lower version of themselves, send it out to them. We might call it thoughts and prayers, but whatever you may call it, it's an energetic flow of compassion, of positivity, of, if you can, love. And swell with love for others very much. Let them have that good feeling, because that is what heals you, and that is what heals the earth, is love. So my young self maybe couldn't have handled that situation in such a wise manner, but my wise older self does know that that's what you do. You just understand they're in their spot. They're the epitome of their story, and that what happened in the workplace had absolutely nothing to do with me. It really didn't. I just was the bullseye. And to just feel that compassion and understanding, and to wish all well. And that they've come to a place in their life, if they are still here, where they would not be in a place to ever think to be like that again. So I try it out. Try that experiment out. You will see a trickle of change or a lot of change. And most of that change will probably be inside you and how you feel, right? Try it out, because all of us have a spot that we love to heal. Thank you so much for joining me today. I feel like I hemmed and hawed through this podcast. I had the dog barking, and that's done. But I appreciate all of you listening through this podcast, and I hope you did connect with that in some way. And be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. And also, if you are on YouTube, the subscribers are steadily going up. Please like, subscribe, and share. It means so much to me. Please comment. I appreciate it so much. And as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you next time.